Sketches or paint or watercolor or sketches.
Good morning. I'm Norm Torres. I'm the executive director here at the Breakers. I appreciate you coming. We're just talking. We obviously have our hands full. A lot of us have things to do, so we'll kind of get things going, and we'll just start off with different members of the team. And I will be filling in for two folks that can't be here, and I'll kind of tell you what's going on. And I'll be filling in for Antonio and James. Kristen, you want to start off so you can?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Milton, the Director of Sales and Marketing. Nice to see everybody here. Let's see, today's the 31st. So this past month, you'll see 6 new faces that have joined us in August. And even starting tomorrow, there will be 2 people already moving in or starting their lease anyway, tomorrow for September. So a lot of people have been calling us, me and Dave, and looking to move before winter. So you're going to hopefully be able to meet new friends and welcome new people steady as we go for the remainder of the year. You may all have picked up on the fact that Scott Tyler, my colleague for all of the 9 years that I have worked here, and just short by a few weeks of 10 years for him at the Breakers, has moved on to a new position. It's a wonderful opportunity for him and his family. And we will miss him. I know many of you met him and he helped you pick out your apartment. He's still here in Chicago and he says to say hi to everyone. And we wish him well. But he is no longer at the Breakers, and I am going to fill the sales counselor position that he vacated. We're going to wait and find the very best person to become part of our great team. Any questions for me? Great, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Donna Pennycamp. I'm the business office manager. Many of you I know, some I'm looking forward to meeting. As far as my department, I don't have too much to share with the group. I am recruiting for a second shift security person, Diamond Gilbert, who was recently added as a member of our team. Had a wonderful opportunity for an internship with Chicago Public Schools, which was in her field. And go figure, she chose that over us. So she has moved on, and I am actively recruiting to fill her position. I do have a candidate that I believe will be starting this week or at the latest next week, and I will share more of those details with you later. Any questions for me? Wow. Well, yes, Elio.
I would like to congratulate you for the new program that you are on with Wine Club.
Oh.
Last week, it was very nice. Hopefully, we're going to have more people in the future.
Okay. So Elio, thank you so much. Wanted to his gratitude for the wine club that he attended just last week. Well, yeah. So I will touch on that again, that the wine club is the last Thursday. Did we say, where's Molly? The last Thursday of every month. And the maximum number of attendees at the moment is 24, and that may remain.
What time the last Thursday of every month?
It is at 2 o'clock, Janice. 2 o'clock, yeah. Well, maybe sometime. For those that missed me at Wine Club, I will be filling in on Friday exercise. So you can see me there if you didn't see me at Wine Club. But
Drop me off a bottle.
Just don't mix the two.
Any other questions? Joe?
I like the wine club, and there used to be a beer club too.
I think Air Club, I don't know if that's gonna be on a regular basis.
I'll bring it up at my.
Okay,
That's fun, too.
alrighty. Any other non-alcoholic related questions? Okay, have a great day.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all in this number. My name is Damir Dibra, as you probably all know. I'm a dining room manager. A few things that's going on in our department right now. We do hiring, and thanks Donna, thanks Norm for the support. 6 people that are lined up. Some of them are starting this week. Some of them will be starting probably next week. So we're looking forward to that. Although the things are going okay. I mean, I know that here and there your table may change recently, but we're doing our best so that you guys don't feel any discomfort or anything that will be out of your regular routine. Norm's gonna fill you up for Antonio part, and that's pretty much it. What I have, we do resuming with the dining committee meetings in September. You can check with your with your members if any concerns, questions that you may have. They will bring it to us. We'll take the feedback and we'll take it from there. And good to see you all. Any questions for me? Yes, Hans.
I know as of our next meeting, and we'll be setting up a new dining room committee. Demir, we do miss the menu chats. I'm hoping that you and Antonio, they're very important. And forgetting all the complaints, there are some good suggestions and ideas. I hope you'll be taking up those again, the menu chats.
So the question is, prior to the pandemic, we did have the monthly meetings, menu chats, where we'll be talking about food, service, things, where we'll be taking feedbacks from residents. So as for now, we do conducting this, the dining committee meetings. That's in the planning. We just have to kind of, work our way around the schedule and timing to pick the best time that will work for residents and for us. But it's in planning. We're working on it. It should be coming soon at some point.
Good, thank you.
Any other question? Yes?
Antonio said that they would tell us what the special was on Wednesday, either putting it in the menu or something, but we haven't gotten any notification of that.
Okay, the question is about the Wednesday breakfast specials. Antonio did say that we will keep you updated what's gonna be each Wednesday. I can remind him and we'll work together. We can definitely take care of that. It shouldn't be an issue. Any other questions, concerns?
What's tomorrow, Wednesday?
Tomorrow's gonna be waffles because of the. So thank you again, and I'll see you guys downstairs. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Why is the oatmeal always cold?
Why is the oatmeal always cold? That's a good question. I'm not sure why it should be hot. I will double check on that with the cooks and Antonio. I'll make sure that it's okay.
It's been.
I'm sorry for experience. I will definitely look at it. I'll definitely check on it. Oh yes, go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, hi, is Antonio gonna be?
To leave today for some emergency.
So my question to you is, I'm not diabetic, I'm reactive hypoglycemic, so my blood sugar goes up and drops. But why it doesn't matter, but I'm just telling you. But
Mine
the
too
point-
sometimes.
But the point is, the diabetic dessert is horrible, the sugar-free. Nobody wants to eat that crappy Jell-O every night. When Adam was here, there were different desserts that were sugar-free. What's wrong with Antonio that he can't do that?
So the question is about,
Can you just bring that to him?
yes, the question is about the variety in desserts and more sugar-free options.
Yeah.
We will definitely, touch base, and this is good. You should always check with your dining committee members so they can bring this to us. But that's where we kind of discuss this and make change, work on it. We are, whatever we can do, we will do, guys. I want you to know that we have no reason not to do some stuff for you if we can. So, it just sometimes takes a little bit planning and and time. Yes, Celia. Excuse me.
Thank you. If in case, and I hope to, we substitute one Jell-O, do you think we can have a little fresh fruit, not just ice cream, Jell-O, ice cream? Substitute that Jell-O with a little fresh fruit.
That's what they were just talking.
So that's kind of another question about the variety in desserts, having a fruit instead of Jell-O. Like I said, we do we do go through all the feedbacks, and we will try to do our best. It's just like I said, sometimes that takes a little bit planning and time, but whatever we can do, we will do. There's no reason for us not to do things that we can. Okay.
Can we know the reason?
Right now, I will have to check with Antonio. I don't think there's any reason particular, but it's just yeah. Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
While you're looking at the oatmeal heater, look at all of them. Everything is a little it's definitely not hot. None of it's hot.
Okay, so that's another question about the steam table on the buffet line. I'll definitely take a look. I mean, it's obviously it is a concern. Yeah, I'll definitely check on that. Blanche, O'Neill?
Hey, guys, I'm gonna have to, here's the deal. I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna tell you why. We've been talking about this. She brought it up about 5 times at the last meeting. If we don't discontinue all these questions and we don't go into these food committee questions, we'll be here all day. And I can't allow that because we have a lot to cover. But here, what that's telling me is that these, and he's honest, there's no reason why we can't have more desserts or the fresh fruit, the sugar-free. But this is all stuff that has to go to that food committee meeting.
But they're changing.
But no, it's the same. It's the same. It's September 29th at 1 p.m. Write it down. This is why we kind of have the committee, because we're trying to get feedback from hundreds of people, and it's hard. And we'll spend this whole meeting, we will turn it into a food committee meeting, and we don't want to do that. But I want to be cognizant of your concerns, and I wrote them down. They're very reasonable, by the way. And we'll check on the temperatures of the steam table. We'll look at the desserts. But I can't allow this meeting to turn into a food meeting. Okay? September 29th at 1 p.m. Go to the food committee. You have some great people on the council on these. They really kind of communicate with us a lot by email, and they meet with us. And that's the best way to funnel information, or we're going to turn this into something it shouldn't, okay? And I apologize, but I can't just let him keep going back and forth on food all day.
Norm?
Sorry. Is it about food?
No,
Okay.
it's about committees.
Thank you again, guys. I'll see you downstairs.
We have a list of the people who are on the committee.
The question she has is, could you possibly distribute or share with us all the committees and the members? And I would say absolutely yes. Someone is going to put that together, and Shantae has just been volunteered to put something together that says, here are all the committees we have in the building. Here are the committee members. Here's their, and I have a question, just by show of hands. If we share committee members, is it okay to share your apartment number or phone number? Is it okay? I know who some of them are. Okay, so they said, okay, so you can share who they are, how to get in touch with them, when they meet, the schedules. You mind?
Yep, I got it.
Thank you for understanding. And now for like the greatest thing ever. There you go, Molly.
Hi, everyone. Molly, I'm the Director of Resident Programming. Just kind of piggybacking off of the talk about meeting with the resident committees, you all got the flyer. They're going to be having a resident association meeting next Thursday on the 9th.
At 7 o'clock.
Yes, so that'll be a wonderful time to come and talk with the resident committees and those that are on the board also. So for programming, a lot of fun stuff coming up in September. Shantae has some wonderful trips for you guys. Tomorrow you're heading to the movie theater, going to the Holocaust Museum next week where they're having a Nelson Mandela exhibit. Botanic Gardens trip, we got rescheduled for the 15th, the 22nd, going to Horseshoe Casino, and then on the 29th, going to the Photography Museum here in Chicago, which is actually free. So that'll be a wonderful trip, especially for those that haven't been yet. Coming up on the 12th of September is Grandparents' Day. So we're going to be having a Grandparents' Day party out in the courtyard. Feel free to invite family or grandkids, whoever you'd like to come and celebrate the day with you for all those that are grandparents, excuse me. And open mic night coming on the 4 p.m. We do have our sign up in the back of the table here if you would like to do something for the open mic night. I know you all have many talents you haven't shared with us yet, so hope to see some new names on there. Bringing up the beer club that was brought up by a couple people earlier. So Eric has been so busy, thankfully, with all the move-ins that Kristen was talking about. So Eric is very knowledgeable about beer and says that he will do a beer club maybe every other month. We can get him to do it, especially with Oktoberfest coming up. We'll have him do beer club again. So one thing I would like to remind you all about is if you could please, please, please sign up for bus trips. If you know you're going to go to CVS on Thursday or Target on Tuesday, sign up for those ahead of time. The signups are always in that binder in the mail room. It just makes it easier on Sterling to plan ahead for who's going. That way he can look out for you, and if he sees your name, he won't be leaving if he knows you're on your way down. Okay, besides all that, questions? Lynn Bernstein.
Comment. Not because I'm on the program committee, but the Beach Boys.
Yes.
That night, it was done terrific.
Oh,
I
good.
guys, whoever,
Thank
besides
you.
program committee people, whoever worked on that did a fantastic job.
Yeah. Lynn said she had a lot of fun at the Beach Boys beach party that we had out on the deck. And so that was myself, Kristen, and Shantae that did that, and a little bit of Dave, and a lot of setup from dining and everybody else. So I'm glad you all enjoyed. Clarice.
Is there any special dining thing or any observation that's coming for Labor Day?
For Labor Day, they will be having a cookout from 11 to 3. That is next Monday, the 6th, Labor Day. They'll be having a barbecue. So hopefully good weather. It looks like good weather right now. You can get barbecue indoors or outdoors. And then speaking of next week, Rosh Hashanah also begins. We will not be having the traditional Rosh Hashanah dinner here at the Breakers because it is the same day as Labor Day, but there will be services if you're interested in participating in those Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur services. The sign up is in the back of the showroom too. Laverne.
I just want to wish you every happiness.
Oh, thank you. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Okay, any other questions about programming? No? Well, thank you all. Have a good day.
Good luck. Thank you. Congratulations. Be happy.
I think Demir touched on it. Hiring. We've put a lot of resources, money, time, and effort into hiring. If you pay attention, you watch the news, and you listen to what's going on, I've been around a long time. I've never seen it like this. I've never seen a state of affairs where we can't employ people.
Yes.
It's pretty rough right now, and it's pretty hard. Just bear with us. That being said, we also have the challenge of trying to find a certain type of person that's empathetic, that has certain traits and qualities, that can work with seniors and be patient and certain things. It's not that easy. That being said, we've been very blessed. Like, I can't even tell you like how lucky we've been. Demir shared the numbers, but one person has already arrived. The other one will be here by the end of this week. He's got some things to do. We have to, conduct background checks, drug tests. All these things have to happen now. He's got some people coming, finally. So that being said, maintenance also has some people come on board. Raymundo's a great guy. He loves to chit chat. You guys are gonna love him. He knows what he's doing. He's pretty handy. He's pleasant. He's easy to be around and talk to. You've seen all these people coming in dining room, maintenance, dietary. However, there are two key roles that I want to touch on, and I'm gonna let them come up here. All I'm gonna ask, and I've already told them once they share their story, is to leave, not to stay here. And I'm saying that because they've only been here one a week, the other one only a couple of weeks, and I just want to give them some time to get their feet wet. They've jumped right in, thank God, they've jumped right in. They know what they're doing, and I think they've done a good job so far. Some of you have met them, some of you have not, but I think you'll be really pleased with the work that they'll do on your behalf and kind of attend to whatever you need around here, okay? So I'll let Juan come up first and just share whatever, he wants to share real quick, okay?
Well, hi, everyone. My name is Juan Castaneda. I'm the new housekeeping director. I met a couple of you guys. I'm looking forward to meeting each and one of you guys and helping you with any problems you may have with housekeeping. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Can you guys hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Juan Castaneda. I'm the new housekeeping director. I've had the pleasure of meeting a couple of you guys already. I'm looking forward to meting everyone here and getting to know your names. I love fall. I have a dog named Buttercup, in case you guys didn't know. Next month, I'm looking forward to answering any questions you might have regarding any housekeeping services, public areas, community-wise. Yeah, I'm just excited to be here and I'm excited to work with you guys.
Which one's extension?
288.
Feel free to give him a call. His extension is 288. There you go. So welcome to the club now, Juan. Now you're gonna get all the phone calls.
Yeah.
If not, feel free to call the front desk and they can transfer you, okay? His office is located in the lower level. You can't access that area of the building. They have a lot of supplies down there, break rooms, employee areas, but 288 is Juan's extension. The next person is Christina. She'll be the Director of Hospitality and Resident Services, and I'll explain that, okay?
Thank you. My name is Christina Elger. I am, as Norm said, the Director of Hospitality and Residential Services. I've met some of you, but not a great deal. You'll see me around a little bit more as I venture out and come to some of the committee meetings and such. I moved here from Michigan, from about 20 minutes north of Detroit. I moved here with my husband. We have 3 adult daughters, all girls. Our oldest daughter's married and she lives in Pennsylvania. And my second daughter is getting married next year in August. And my youngest is 21 and she's still living at home with our dog and our cat. I'm not real crazy about winter, so I think this, my first winter here in Chicago is going to be an education because I hear it's much worse than Detroit, but I'm not sure.
You'll find out.
Probably the hard way, right? This will probably be the worst year in history. Sorry, it'll be my luck. But I'm excited to meet all of you, and it's been a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited to get to know all of you. If you need anything, my extension is 246.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There were some questions that I answered. I think it was some of the residents asked. They didn't understand where the Director of Hospitality came from. We are in a hospitality industry, and everything is about customer service, hospitality, service. So that definition, that title, that position was created all with the emphasis and focus on hospitality. You want to be hospitable. You want to take care of any service failures. The other definition of resident services came about because in our industry as a whole, and for you guys, it just delineates the role a little bit better. At the end of the day, Christina's pretty much everything. Everything. Anything we do is a resident service. Everything we do, from answer the phone to serve someone a meal to send housekeeping, everything we do every day has to do with providing residents with services. So basically, anything you don't know, anything you need, she's a gatekeeper that will be able to guide you to who you need or to guide the person that needs to follow up with you, because sometimes you don't even know who to call for it. So guess what? You call Christina. She'll bring it to, it's like the food committee. you know what? Take it to the food committee. They know how to get who involved and communicate what they need. You take it to Christina. She knows who to get involved, take it to who she needs to, and how to make sure that it gets done and follow through. She also sits actually to my right side, right here, right next to me. She's my neighbor. So I hear and see all of that. And if she needs help or support, she has direct access to me. So it helps give you guys a gateway to get anything you need from the breakers. So it's resident services. Her biggest project last week was kind of getting settled in, changing her computer stuff, doing some training, making sure we can pay her properly in the computer. That's ADP. And the biggest project she has now on her plate, we had some meetings last week and you're going to hear about it, are vaccine booster shots. We already know. We already know the dates. We know the times. We have all this written down. You're getting your vaccine booster shot. Immediately thereafter, you're going to be getting a flu shot if you so desire, and some other things. So she's got her hands full for the next month or so. She's got a big job, a very important job, which is to make sure that we kind of go through this process like we did before. Molly will be, supporting us with alcohol and activities and yeah. So, you might as well have fun with it. And you guys know we make it a festive event. It's not sad at all. It's fun. It's exciting. So she's working on all those initiatives for us right now. I'm going to go through a list and I'm going to start with Antonio. I'll cover for him. I can tell you right now, there's no reason why we shouldn't have more sugar-free desserts. That one for me is simple. That's an easy one. So I'm going to take it back, okay? The other one is the temperature of the steam table and what's going on there. That needs to be looked at daily or logged somehow. So I got those notes. The reason Antonio's not here right now is he has his hands full. We've been talking since yesterday, late yesterday and last night. There were some phone calls. I was on a phone call with our corporate office today. You guys watch a lot of TV, some of you. You hear what's going on with the school bus drivers? Guess what's going on with all the truckers in some of these companies right now? Cisco, as of yesterday at 5 o'clock, shut down and their drivers have all taken off. A lot of them have either walked off the job because of the vaccination issues. They're warehouse workers and the entire place is shut down and has gone on strike. Cisco is one of the largest, US Foods and Cisco, those two. They're the largest food providers in the United States. They also are warehoused out of Bensonville, where I live out there in Elmhurst area, York Road. So in Chicago, they're very, very big in Chicago because this is their home base where they started. They service 40% of the restaurants in Chicago. The fact that they shut down yesterday has impacted everybody. Restaurants, healthcare facilities, we have places all over the United States too. Cisco services everyone. Good news is we're okay. Antonio this morning did an inventory. He's also very smart and proactive. You're not going to believe this, but he already has everything for our Labor Day barbecue. Because we plan ahead. We try to be proactive. We try to, stay ahead 1 or 2 days. He also has everything he needs for today. Where Antonio is headed right now is he was on the computer this morning and going to different places to get what we need in here from other people. And he's headed right now to go make sure he can get proteins from all kinds of different places. He's going to make it work, and he's convinced he has it. He's going to do it. On our phone call today, it was really unfortunate that we heard about some facilities throughout different places that they don't have the luxury that we have, which is size. We have big freezers, we got coolers downstairs. So they found themselves, yesterday they did okay, today they don't have anything. So they're doing like hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, ordering pizza, doing some of that. I'm so happy to tell you that won't be the case here. However, in going through things with Antonio this morning to make this work, because we think it might last 1 to 2 weeks, he is going to reduce the 3 entrees to 2, okay? And just to get that much stuff in here, he's gonna be going all over, I don't know, who knows where we're all gonna pitch in, even me. I'm gonna take my wife's truck and I'm going somewhere too if I have to. I drive a car, she drives a truck. We're just gonna switch for a couple of days. So we're all gonna pitch in and make this work. We just need you to understand what's going on, and you will have 2 entree selections instead of 3. This is gonna go on for the next week or 2. We don't know. If we have to, we'll shift gears. We have a barbecue on Monday. We have everything we need there. If we have to shift gears, we'll communicate any changes to those menus to you guys way in advance, okay? So that's what's going on. That's why he can't be here right now. He's got a lot to do and figure out. For James, on James's list, he has a lot. We've had some AC issues in retail. He has a lot of work. That's gonna happen. If you own a big house, you're always gonna have little things to fix. Yes, ma'am. She asked, when is the 16th floor laundry going to be worked on? I don't have the paper in front of me, but I think I know it by heart. The 16th floor laundry room starts on Monday. You're gonna see these flyers right now. You're gonna see them. They're already printed out. They're ready to go out to you guys. The 16th floor will be closed for the next week. Once that floor is done, the following week, the next one is 7, I believe, is going to get finished. And we've moved them all back to back to back now, one after the other, instead of one a month, which is what I shared the plan was, because I was able to expedite the delivery of furniture. So now that we're getting the furniture, which you're seeing, the couches, the tables are coming the 14th, the other 2 are coming the 2nd of September. Now that we're getting that in, we move the laundry rooms up a little bit to get them done. I just ask on the laundry room note, don't place notices on the walls, don't put tape all over everything, it ruins the walls. Use the bulletin boards. Use the bulletin boards. The other one is don't move the furniture. Don't move the furniture around, don't drag the tables, don't drag the couches. Just, do what you can. It's our home. We want to keep it tidy. If you see anyone sleeping with a blanket and pillows or lounging out like it's their home, just ask them. It's like my mom, get your feet off the table. That's it. Or go to your room if you want to go to sleep. But it's just not the place. And I'm saying this because this is all stuff we're already seeing. Okay? It's your home. Be respectful, be polite, or let us know. And we'll kind of going on in the building. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I want to get back to the dining room for a minute. I'm one of the complainers around here, but I gotta tell you, the staff down there, Demir, who I don't necessarily always agree with on certain things and stuff like that, him and Tony, a lot of the staff down there, the extra work they are doing,
It's fantastic.
cleaning off the tables, serving when they should be.
She just wanted to acknowledge the staff for their hard work, because when you're shorthanded, somebody's, picking up the slack. And I'll say this, and we'll figure something out, because just from hearing you right now, it's unfortunate, but that's what happens. Either when you work with someone that's not, I guess, a hard worker or lazy, or you don't have someone, guess what? Somebody's got to do it. And it's still getting done. So I can promise you this, and I'm serious. I don't know how, but we'll reach out to you from the food committee. But I do believe that somehow, some way, we need to do something, because it's not money. It's not. It's just going out there and letting them know what you're doing and thank you and showing them somehow. I don't have it in my head figured out, but if we did the staff to show them that appreciation, I would want some of you there, because it's not me they're serving, it's you. So I'll let you know what we come up with. But I think it is time to do something for those that are left behind, that are holding down the fort, to show them some gratitude, okay? So no, I appreciate it. Thanks. Yes, ma'am. She said that just like the dietary staff, in appreciation of the dietary staff, that we should have an open day of giving. Absolutely not. I will get fired. It's not allowed. It's against policy, and it's ultimately illegal.
Yes.
It's illegal to accept gifts and gratuities from the residents or senior population.
We have a holiday
So
committee.
my recommendation is, and it's the most equitable way to do it without getting anyone in trouble, is contributing to the holiday fund. And I must say that we are the only community with this holiday fund, because you also have some other criteria and boundaries around that whole gift giving, but we will continue to allow it, support it, but it's done very well by the resident council. The way they do it, it's very equitable, it's very fair. There will be some conversations about that fund prior to the distribution this year, but I think they do a great job with it. So it's contribute to the holiday fund. That's the best way to do it, okay? On the James list of items, you know, if you have a car right now, the garage, yes, ma'am.
This is off that subject, but I want to give kudos to the concierge staff. They are so fantastic, everybody.
They get
She wanted to give kudos and thanks to the concierge staff at the front desk. Yeah, you know. I've covered, some of you, I've covered the front desk a couple of times, and Donna does, and every time somebody sits up there, even Christina, part of her training was to spend 2 hours up there. She walked away like this and said, "How does Brittany do it?" Because it's stressful. It's stressful. You're calling, yelling about something. There's someone standing here. There's people walking in. There's like 20 things going on. So it takes a special person to keep their cool and juggle all that. And she does do a good job. All of them do, and they have good experience. Eva, you know, she's a great one to have. So I appreciate that. But on the James list, those of you that have a car, the garage is getting power washed this week. It just needed, it was time to get it cleaned up a little bit, and we're doing what we can in the garage. There'll be some additional stuff that they're gonna work on at the stations where you come in and out. So you'll see all of that. There won't be any disruptions next week, but this week, I forgot the schedule, but both floors, upstairs, downstairs, it's all getting power washed. Yes, ma'am. Water cooler and fitness. Sorry, I'm writing this down. On James' list, the townhouses, your neighbor. They didn't tell me. They said by the end of this week. I think I shared this not too long ago. They have some work going on the outside of their brick. So they're gonna start every day from 8 to 4 p.m. and there are gonna be some workers out there. They're gonna rope it off. They're gonna close it off a little bit, but it might be noisy and dusty. And they will encapsulate it. They're gonna cover up. But regardless, you may have some challenges outside from 8 to 4 Monday through Friday for the next 3 to 4 weeks with the neighbor. So they were nice enough to communicate. We're supportive. They're great people. So just bear with it. If you have any complaints, if you know that the workers are starting, I'm here real early, I'll see. But if sometimes they try to cheat, start too early, or they're working late, things like that happen, let us know and we'll communicate with them. We'll email the manager over there. The other stuff, I'm just gonna touch on it quickly. James and I, over the last few weeks, we made a list. And it was something that even Molly partook. What we did is, once I started the few little things, which were the laundry rooms and other little things, we just made a list. An example of that list would be these chairs that are in this room right now. There's a hodgepodge of, I don't know, moth, black, some with arms, some without arms. I've heard some feedback from the residents that they're not that comfortable. Some are not that solid anymore. You use this for a lot of your events, activities, exercise. So we're going through a list right now and prioritizing, and as funds and time allow, That's on the list. This furniture in this room is on that list. The other one is the theater. That furniture, whatever. There's nothing to even say. It just doesn't make sense. That's on the list. That's going to be replaced. We're working on a bunch of things, including the ceiling tile in the dining room. They replaced some of them, but you see that they're mixed match. There's some issues up there. We're going to work on that. So the dining room tile, it's just a long laundry list of stuff that we're trying to do. But again, as time and money allows, we're just going to pluck away at it one piece at a time, one piece at a time. We can't do it all. We can't, get it done overnight, but we're still continuing to look at all those little things that need to get done. The other one is mechanicals you don't see. There's mechanical systems in this building that are worth millions of dollars. We've had to put a lot of money into air conditioner, compressors, stuff like that. James has his hands full, but even with the stuff you don't see, we're going to continue to do some of the stuff that you do enjoy every day around here. Someone raised their hand, but they put it down. Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of plucking away, I've been now talking about this for about 3 years, and that is the baseboard to the entrance to the third floor deck. It's in terrible shape, and I wonder if that could be repaired, replaced, or something. It's the baseboard in between the two doors to the third floor deck. Thank you.
Yeah, that is kind of rickety.
The baseboard to the entrance of the third floor deck. Do you know what she's talking about, Molly?
The ramp, Jerry?
Yeah, the ramp thing.
The ramp.
They did work on the ramp.
We did replace the waterproofing. All of that was redone on the threshold when you walk in.
I'm not talking about the ramp. I'm talking about inside the building. There are two doors to get to the ramp. In between the two doors, there's a baseboard.
Okay, between the doors. Okay, now I know. Where the heater is and that sign right there with the doggy poopy bags. Okay,
And about the dog.
It's shabby.
okay, sorry. Yes, ma'am.
In the mailroom, behind the horse, there's a residence bulletin board, which we haven't been able to use for about 1.5 years. It was very good for messaging, buying, selling. Could that board be moved to a space where we can use it again?
No, but we'll. Well, here's the challenge. We can move the bulletin board if you really like the horse. The horse is kind of something we just kind of needed to get rid of from where it was. That's kind of how it ended up there. And we didn't want to hide them in the basement. But if you want the bulletin board, we can look. Either way, the mailroom, it doesn't matter to me where we put the bulletin board. If it works for you, it works for me. If you want to keep the horse, it's up to you. Who wants to keep the horse? Okay, the horse stays.
I was gonna say put the horse out to pasture.
Hold on. I'm taking notes. Sorry. James never has to take this many notes. Yes, Stephen.
You mentioned vaccines a few minutes ago. Will we get written confirmation of the booster and vaccines to share with our respective medical service providers?
Yes.
Stephen's question was relative to the booster shots and the vaccines. How is this going to be provided to his physician or to them as far as documentation and verification thereof? Stephen is a mind reader. He is. You want to know why? Next thing on the list. Vaccine booster shot clinics. Watch what I'm going to talk about. It's right here. Your vaccine cards are needed because the booster shot gets documented on the reverse side. Here's what's going to happen. We already know that a significant number of residents can no longer find the card or have lost it.
Or never got it.
Everyone got their vaccine card.
No, I did not. I was in Florida.
Okay, we can work on that because here's what's going to happen. Christina's gonna set up a day and she's gonna be sitting at the suburbs with a table, and it's for anybody and everybody that cannot find or locate their vaccine card. So we can have time before your booster shot clinic to replace those cards, which is not easy because, you know, they're being fraudulent now, they're being copied, I don't know. So the first thing you need to do, hopefully this weekend, today, is start looking for that vaccine card and put it in a safe place. Because if you don't have that card, it's going to be a challenge to get you a booster shot. So if you make sure you have the card in advance, it'll save us a lot of trouble later, but we're also gonna give you a day and a time where Christina, and that's where you would go, that day you just let her know. She's gonna ask you your name, date of birth, etc. And then we're gonna work with some folks to get you your replacement vaccine cards before the booster shot clinic. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of COVID, yes, sir.
Okay, this is going to revert a bit back to the issue with the dining rooms and the furniture specifically. As it's kind of difficult, I know for myself at times, and I'm sure for other people, sometimes you have to move those chairs in and out, and sometimes you have to drag them over. It would be helpful if you put glides on the bottom of those.
They've been talking about this for over.
Yeah, but that makes them unsafe.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the whole thing. I've never really heard that one. It's my first. I'd have to look at the whole thing. We'd have to look at everything, what our options are, you know, all of it. And we have a significant number of chairs, but it's not impossible. So let me look at that.
Yeah, of course, you know, you can't put something that's extra slippery.
Correct.
But there has to be a medium.
Yes.
Where they can be at least a little easier than it is currently.
All right, back to COVID. We ask all residents, guests, visitors, our employees know if they don't feel well, they're not allowed to come to work. If we see someone at work that's coughing, sneezing, or showing signs or symptoms, they're asked to leave immediately. And that's to keep you guys safe and keep each other safe. We ask you to do the same. Right now, with what's going on out there, we've been very, very fortunate here. It's not getting better, guys. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend or make jokes about it because it's not. I didn't see it coming. I didn't think we'd go backwards right now, but guess what? We are. We're going backwards. I don't know what's gonna come of this. All I ask is that you guys continue to do what you're doing, be cognizant of the mask. I always remind people, especially in the elevator, when you're on top of each other like that, be polite, be respectful, but make sure that everyone that visits you, your friends, everyone running around this place is wearing a mask, trying to do the best they can. But the exposure is real. It's not a joke anymore. We were doing really well and it's getting kind of iffy again where we're on shaky ground. That means that you guys are at high risk because of the way we live right here. We live kind of on top of each other, dining rooms, activities. The only chance we have is that you don't expose others if you don't feel well, that you stay home when you don't feel well. There are a few things we've done lately in the past couple of weeks that are gonna help. If you don't feel well, Christina or I need to know immediately. And you can let Sana, Molly, but Christina and I need to know immediately. And there are gonna be a few steps we're gonna take. Number one is that we've set up a system now where you don't have to leave your home. Someone will come to your home and do a COVID test. We did a test last week at about 10:15 a.m. I had the results to that test by 1:22 that afternoon. Yes. And the reason you have to do it like that is because time is of the essence. You can't play around and joke and let somebody run around for 3 days and then say, oh, your results are this. No, it makes me really nervous when you don't know right away what's going on. The other reason is because the resident doesn't need to be locked up in their apartment for 3 days, for 5 days, if the test comes back negative. So if you don't feel well, if you're suspect, it's going to ask you your name, date of birth, your address, Medicare number, insurance information. That's it. And you won't have to pay for any of that. It's all taken care of through insurances and Medicare, et cetera. And if you ever get a bill for that, let me know. But we have a system in place that will get you tested quickly, and you're going to see a document that's called isolation procedures, which just says stay home, call your family, tell them not to visit. It just tells you what steps to take. Take your temperature, things like that, okay? So does that also make sense, what to do if you're suspect, you don't feel well, what we've put in place to help keep us all safe? Yes, ma'am.
What about meals if you're?
Meals, that was the other part of it. I didn't write it down because we did it twice already. And both people that we tested, by the way, came back negative. So we're fine. Meals, we waived all meal delivery charges during the few days that they weren't feeling well and while we were waiting for the results, but it was only like 2 days. So we did it quick. So yes, we will work with you. Yes, ma'am.
I wondered if the new residents are required to be vaccinated. And also, the memo that came out about the staff, does that mean they're gonna be required to be vaccinated?
Okay. You're hanging out with Steve. Yes, you are. She's another mind reader. I'm going to get out of here after this because if you read any more of my thoughts, trust me, it won't be good. Vaccine mandate by Senior Lifestyle. There you go. Okay, so here we go. As of last week, Senior Lifestyle has followed suit with the FDA approval of the vaccine. It's the Pfizer, the Moderna's coming, which is what we all have mostly. They've put in a vaccine mandate in place. So we are going through a vaccine process with our employees right now, and they all have to be vaccinated by October 31st. That being said, anyone hired after October 15th, I think it is, something like that, has to be vaccinated. That's also a component of sales and the requirement for people coming in now. And it's something that with all these organizations and everyone following suit, it's going to kind of be everywhere anyway. So last week we were on some phone calls, and it's all down the pipe. If you talk to the staff, you talk to anyone, they all know what's going on, and we're going through the same process with vaccinations to kind of get it all done. So there you go. New hires, new move-ins, everyone here now. Yes, ma'am. I don't want to get into dates and times and confuse you with all the information you're getting today. Wait until you get the flyer. And it's going to be the same exact way we did it before. Floors this through that, come down at this time. It was very organized. If you guys follow those time schedules, it'll work well, and we won't have everybody come down at once. So we have it broken down the same exact way for this next clinic. I just don't want to give you dates and times and confuse you, okay? You'll see it come to you. Yes, ma'am.
Before our caregivers also were given an opportunity to get vaccinated here, will they be eligible for booster shots?
My caregivers said, well, yeah.
Here's the challenge we have right now. We're going to focus, and I'm not going to answer that question right now. And I'll tell you why. My primary responsibility right now are the residents and our employees. And we have a lot of these private caregivers running around. We had an obligation with the initial vaccine. That one we had. Two things, twofold. We wanted to get you vaccinated, number one. Number two, it was hard to get a vaccine. Really, really difficult. It just happens that we had some relationships and contacts that we were able to get whatever we wanted. So twofold. They got vaccinated through us. And availability. It's not the same anymore. They've been vaccinated once. So now the booster shot is available to them also more readily. So I want to focus on our residents and I want to focus on our employees. So I'm not gonna get into the caregivers that you guys employ privately and all that right now. I gotta focus on these two groups. So they got vaccinated, we helped out initially, but the availability of vaccines now, it's everywhere. You can just look it up, look for a clinic, get your vaccine, get your booster shots. Actually, the clinics are sitting empty right now. That's part of their problem, that they can't get a new wave of people out there. So they are available to them, but I would say right now, I'm gonna do the others. Yes, ma'am.
Is there any check on caregivers as to whether they've been vaccinated or not?
I have checked.
There are some limitations and boundaries on our authority with them, but it's funny you bring that up because there are some caregiver policies that exist within the Breakers and Senior Lifestyle that have existed for a long time that are not being adhered to. So if we start going down that road, your caregivers would be required to adhere to all the policies, which is a TB test and certain criteria that this policy entails to keep you safe, including vaccination. And if we went down that road, the majority of these caregivers wouldn't be here. I'm being honest with you. I've avoided it since the day I walked in here, but it's a problem. There are some caregiver policies that exist. They're in the books, but they're not all being adhered to. So you should, if you kind of see it as a responsibility you have to others and yourself and even your own family, you should make sure that your caregiver is vaccinated or you're at risk, high risk. And so are your neighbors, okay? Yes, ma'am.
I think there's several people that I was vaccinated at Northwestern before it was here. So if you come with a booster here, I'm gonna keep going with what Northwestern said, because that's where I had my vaccination, and it was before they had it here.
I'll explain that one. We kind of talked to our provider in our meeting about that. They can give you your booster at any time. The recommendation from CDC was 8 months out. We started in January, so we're perfect right now where we are. So we asked. They said, no, you can have it 4 months, you can have it 9. It's not significant if you're off by a few months. They said the one thing you have to be careful with, and you don't have to go back to the same place. That was only the situation for the first and second shot. That was only applying to that. The trick is that if you had Pfizer for your first or second shot, you have to get Pfizer for your next shot. So if you will, well, make a note of this, Christina. 99% of our folks got Moderna. So they're bringing hundreds of Moderna. But we have employees, we have residents that just joined us, we have some other folks that got it elsewhere and they may have gotten Pfizer. If they did, they're gonna be asked to contact Christina if you received a Pfizer. It'll say it right on your card because we need to give them a count of how many Pfizer booster shots. It's the same serum, it's the same bottle as the first and the second, but we wanna give them a head count on how many Pfizers to bring, okay? So you can get your booster shot here as long as it's the same. Moderna, Moderna, Pfizer, Pfizer. Yes.
What is the current policy as far as requiring vaccination for current residents?
We were at 97 point something percent when we completed our vaccinations of the whole house. We're probably higher now because some of the residents that were not vaccinated for health reasons or whatever the case may be are no longer with us. And the fact that we're now requiring it coming in will eventually put us at 100%. However, there is no way to go 100% because of medical reasons, other exemptions that people are allowed due to other factors. But we will eventually be at 100%. Because coming in now, you have to have it. So through attrition, we will reach that with the residents eventually, unless there are medical reasons and stuff like that. Yes, ma'am.
New residents coming in, are they vaccinated?
The answer, her question was, are the residents coming in vaccinated? The short answer to that is yes. In order to be considered vaccinated, you have had to have a first and second shot. All right, that's it. Our limit is kind of an hour. We got, yes, ma'am.
Would you please just address for a minute the problem with the gate outside?
Oh, the problem with the gate outside. We had some problems with the lock. So the locksmith came out and changed the tumbler so we can all keep using the same key. James kind of had something happen. I know, he came out, but yesterday we found out that it's not working with all the keys. So we called the locksmith back out. I think you were up front when we were talking about it. James just had a little emergency this morning. Something happened. He had to leave and he'll be back in the morning, but the locksmith has been contacted to come back out. It's not working properly. So yes, we are aware of that. On that note, we have to get going. Look, I always end it with the same thing, but I was at the gym this morning. I watched some of the stuff. I try to keep up with what's going on when I have that kind of quiet time. The only thing I'd ask, and I'm not kind of I'm not too corny with this, but I would ask that, and I know a lot of you have strong faith and all these things, but to keep people in your prayers and wish people well, because I mean it. No, hold on, because I try to keep my spirits high, and even through all this, and you turn on the TV, and I'm a veteran, by the way, and some of you know that, I'll get mushy. It's really hard to watch. It's really hard to watch what's going on with these people. I struggle. I do. I don't know if it's PTSD or what, but I struggle. There are people suffering. There's a lot going on, man. I have family in New Orleans. I watch what's going on in Afghanistan. I'm a veteran. It brings all these emotions out, and you start thinking about all this, you know? And what it does make me realize is how blessed we are, how fortunate we are to sit here and just be able to complain about stuff that we take for granted. And I mean it, because that's what I thought about. That's what I've been thinking about lately. It's just work hard, get up, be grateful, and just do the best. Because there are a lot of places or people, right now, it's hard. It's really hard to watch. So just keep those people in your prayers, you know, wish everyone well, and just be kind to each other, okay? All right, take care of yourself.
And thank God you're here.
Come to the residents meeting Thursday night at 7 o'clock. It's for you.
How long before we get the women's bathroom?